Not too much to say, man. We have our boy James Rush, and we are watching a 90 Day Fiance video, I think, or Love at First Sight, Married at First Sight video. You know what the fuck's going on? You know what's going on.
Last video, we talked about Chris, the biggest villain in the history of Married at First Sight US. We covered his introduction as a fake religious guy whose only real goals in life are sex, money, and reproducing himself. We learned he's been in 2 failed engagements already, with the most recent one ending just 3 months before going on the show, and we saw him brazenly admit to his new wife's friends that he's not attracted to her and really only wants her for sex.
What excites you the most about Paige so far?
I have a strong pull-out game.
Now, cause see, I don't think like that has to be edited or cut in some point. Like that has to be edited, cut out. I don't think he actually said that right after, right? He didn't say that, right? Like, come on, bro. The definition of scaring the hoes, gang. Like,
but of course, the BS from Chris doesn't stop there. Because in today's video, we'll see Chris continue mistreating his wife, this time calling her ugly after being intimate with her.
this nigga is calling somebody ugly, bro. We dead ass right now.
Twice. We'll see Chris lie, manipulate, and fake cry his way out of all responsibility, and we'll see him scare the entire cast after receiving some devastating news. Lots to talk about today, so let's get into it. We catch up with Paige and Chris the morning after the events of last video. The two of them just got married at first sight. They're finally in their hotel room together. However, torn between his...
Can I wait? I have a question about this show. When they do get married, is it actual like papers and assets that are like being joint bank account, all of that? Is that all wrapped in there? No? Is it? If so, I wouldn't trap myself in this to begin with. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would.
desire for a honeymoon baby and his apparent lack of attraction to his new wife Paige, Chris was undecided on whether or not he planned to begin his empire building that night.
To be perfectly honest with you, I haven't decided whether I want to have sex with her tonight or not. But if it happens, it happens.
I just opened Loop for a quick try, and somehow I've been on it forever.
But before we can find out what happened last night, Chris is gone. Apparently, Chris was just going downstairs to get some breakfast or something, but then completely disappeared for like an hour and a half while Paige is upstairs wondering what the hell's going on. He's not answering her texts or her calls. She's out here wondering if he got attacked by a bear or something. When finally, hours later, Chris returns and Paige asks him what the hell was going on this morning, Chris answers with this.
So, I apologize to you. On the way down to get menus, I had a panic attack, and I felt like I needed to clear myself away from everybody.
And while I personally believe Chris is completely full of shit here, he does have a valid point. I think this process could be very overwhelming. Not only are you getting married to a complete stranger, you also have all these cameras in your face and you're on a TV show. That can be a lot to take in, and I would totally believe if someone needed to just escape from it all and have a bit of a panic attack. That is why he had a panic attack, right? Well, after Paige asks him what's wrong and does her best to comfort him, Chris says this.
So, to be perfectly honest with you, I think that on paper, like, we are like you're everything that I need. But like, I don't think that the attraction is fully there yet for me, to be perfectly honest. That's what has had me panicking. Like what the you know?
Wait, what?
Huh. Okay. So he's not attracted to her, and it's causing him to panic. Doesn't make sense to me. However, I'm not in his head. I would not like to be. But let me see. Not attracted to person plus panic attack. No, not attracted to person plus being a narcissist equals panic attack. Okay, okay,
You had a panic attack because she wasn't attractive enough for you? Not disappointed, mind you, not a little bummed, but panic over her appearance. Now, judging by the comments on my last video on Chris, it seems like we're all in agreement that if we're gonna talk about looks, I don't think Chris really has a leg to stand on, saying Paige isn't good enough for him. But you guys know me, I'm a very reasonable guy. If Chris just isn't attracted to Paige, then it is what it is, you know? They just met yesterday, and it's totally normal to need more time with a person before you feel safe and comfortable enough with them to allow yourself to feel attracted to them.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. Attraction starts within the first, 3 seconds of seeing someone and actually focusing your eyes on them. You know that anybody is attractive within like 3 seconds of looking at them. What are we talking about? Now, granted, most of the time, everybody's not worried about how somebody looks. But if a girl, if I approach a girl, that girl knows that she's attracted to me physically within the first 3 seconds. That's simple. Same thing goes for guys with girls. It's quick. A look up and down, either it's green or it's red. It's one or the other. However, the emotional attraction does come later. After that, it comes later.
However, the issue here isn't that Chris wasn't feeling it. Paige says herself that if he told her that last night, she would be just fine with that and could make peace with it. The big issue is that Chris only told Paige about it now after the two of them already had sex. And not just once last night, but again this morning at Chris's request.
But we became intimate last night and this morning. I've never been with a man who wants to have sex multiple times that didn't desire me or didn't find me attractive.
Bro, what? If you're not attracted to her, just don't have sex with her. What are you doing? Now, if they only had sex once, maybe you could blame it on the moment. They just got married, it's all very exciting, maybe they had a couple drinks. Maybe have sex once, but realize the next morning that you took things a little too far. I could perhaps understand that, but twice? The next morning after a good night's sleep? I mean, from Paige's perspective, I don't know how she could believe anything other than A, I was completely used for sex by a guy that doesn't even like me, or B, there's something about my naked body that he finds so ugly and abhorrent that he got completely turned off by it and had a panic attack. Oh, and if you think I'm putting words in Chris's mouth with that whole ugly thing, unfortunately, I'm actually not. Because although in the show he mostly just says that Paige just isn't his typical type, she's still beautiful, just not for him or whatever, he actually does tell Pastor Cal later in the show that he perceives Paige as basically bottom of the barrel.
There's so many beautiful, black queens, white queens, Hispanic queens here in the city of Atlanta, and I just feel like it shouldn't be hard to find somebody because I'm not that picky. Out of all the millions of
Of course they're in the city. Of course they're down the street. Of course they are. Of course.
women here, y'all picked the one that was just like.
And he straight up calls her ugly on social media after the show. So yeah.
God damn, bro. Damn. I know that is disrespectful. To put it on social media is disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie. Very disrespectful.
As much as I'd really love to Chris give the benefit of the doubt here, I really can't. Later that morning, the spouses meet up with each other's parents for brunch, and we see Paige meet up with Chris's mother and, unfortunately, his father. The same creepy father we saw make numerous comments about Paige's body in last video. The family asks how things are going, she says a bit bumpy. The family's a little surprised, like, huh? It's been less than a day and things are already bumpy? And, hoping to get some advice from her new family, Paige tells them what happened. That they had a moment together last night, that Chris said he's not attracted to her this morning, and that Paige feels completely betrayed. This news understandably shocks the whole family, with the dad in particular saying this.
I really believe personally that the attraction was there. So I really am shocked, slightly disappointed, but at the same time, I'm grateful that I raised a gentleman to be upfront and not deceptive and to just come forward with the truth.
Yeah, I guess. Good for him for being honest about it.
The dad is a predator, and I have proof that he is a predator. Look at his face. He looks like EDP. The dad is a check his computer. Check it, please.
He could have been honest the night before they had sex, you know. But I guess we take what we can with Chris. But after the mother starts making excuses for Chris, asking if maybe he had a drink or maybe this is his way of coping with everything, Paige then says, yeah, well, it wasn't just last night, it was also this morning, which makes family completely turn on Chris and everyone is now on Paige's side.
But like, I mean, last night and this morning, it wasn't just. So I mean,
Paige, you're killing me.
But I'm just saying, like now you see why I'm confused.
Okay, well I understand. I got you.
You're my type for a daughter-in-law. Let me say that.
So the family, not being too
What? You're my type for a daughter-in-law. So freaky ass on. What is wrong with dude?
thrilled with Chris right now, go to Chris and ask him what's going on. Chris initially conveniently leaves out the sex part of the story and says that he just wasn't attracted to Paige and wanted to be upfront and honest about it. When the dad chimes in and is like, that's not what we heard.
So she did tell us something about twice. You're a stand-up guy, and I raised you, and I just wanted to really deal with that. Why would you then consummate it in knowing that she was kind of eliminated on sight, so to speak?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you explain that.
Oh, honestly, good for the dad. I kind of figured after all the gross and misogynistic comments and his overall creepy vibe from last video that the dad would be a perpetual victim blamer, always taking his son's side and thinks Chris can do no wrong. And while I'm not completely convinced out of that opinion, it is still nice to see the dad go to bat for Paige in this instance. And after getting called out by the dad, we then hear Chris's explanation.
Going in, I wasn't planning on having sex with her, but I felt like maybe having sex with her would bring this closeness to her. You know, I would generate some type of attraction, but
That's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's not how that works, bro. What are we talking
I was wrong, and it wasn't nothing there. So
Wow.
Now, right off the bat, I don't believe him. I think Chris just wanted to get laid a couple times and is lying through his teeth right now in order to save face and look more respectable to his family and the cameras. Remember, Chris is all about image, not substance. But more than that, if you don't actually want to have sex with someone and you're using it strategically to become attracted to her, do you not think that that might be information Paige would want to know before consenting to sex? I mean, just think about this for 2 seconds, Chris. You're with someone you like, someone you're attracted to, you're in a hotel room with them, you're about to have sex. You think this is great, you're attracted to each other, maybe the beginning of a new relationship you're excited for. And then imagine they stopped everything and said, hey, by the way, I'm not actually attracted to you at all, and I actually haven't been attracted to you since the moment I laid eyes on you. But I just thought that maybe if I had sex with you, then maybe I might like you afterwards. Are you still gonna go with it? Fucking no, of course not. Ew. Now, maybe someone like Chris doesn't care and he would go along with it anyway. And perhaps even some of you might go along with it, thinking, well, attraction is important, this is an issue, maybe we should give it a shot. And while I think all that is fine too, the point is that's something you should know before you have sex. That's the informed part of having informed consent. Because as it stands, Paige has every reason to feel completely used by Chris. Because she was. Paige consented to sharing a loving, bonding, reciprocal moment with her new husband. Not to allow some guy she just met who finds her unattractive to see if he can bang his way into being attracted to her. That's not what she signed up for, you dickhead. Chris then tries further justifying his actions by saying this.
I've dated women that I wasn't attracted to, but I was attracted to their personality.
Right.
So
That's cap. Because you've known her no less than 48 hours. So I think, yeah, I think he just likes her body and not her face.
that's my mindset. You know, it's just finding what it is exactly that I'm attracted to.
We're breaking this up into parts. Like and subscribe, please.